Good morning and happy Wednesday to you all. Lovely for you to join me today. Weather report looks like it's not very good, and it's not very good here either. It's a windy Wednesday wonder today. Yeah, not very good, but there you go. It is January and we're all here, so that's good. So thank you for joining me, everyone. Morning to Ethel, Julia, Heather, Pat, Di, Sandra, June, Eileen, Eunice, Vi, Trisha, May, Sheila, Christine. Oh, yeah, lovely to see you all. And we're going to get a little bit mucky, just a little bit. Well, a little bit pretty as well as mucky. So I have got a very special offer for you today because there are so many things that I've got to tell you. And I thought, well, as you've all come along to join me, why not let them have a little special offer? So the special offer today is an old die by Sue Wilson, I have to say. It's called the New York Collection Herald Square. Very pretty die that we're going to be using today. And that is on a special offer at $11.99. But with it comes completely free this die set, which is a gorgeous Lavish Leaves corner sentiments, and their corner sentiments, as you know, one stamp is like that. So I will be showing you all about that later on. But now, I don't even know if you can see that there, but I just wanted to have a play the other day. You might recall back at Christmas time I said that I was playing with alcohol. And the alcohol was the little alcohol inks. Now, alcohol inks, they come in, I'll show you in here, little bottles, like this sort of thing. And they've been around quite a while, and they're from Ranger, and they are quite different. So normally you have to have a non-porous surface, so you can use them on glass, you can use them on acetate, or glossy paper, but not glossy photo paper. It has to be a specific paper, or UPO, that sort of thing. And I have got here some, I'm not quite sure if you can see that it is sparkly, but it is sparkly, and you will see that we might be able to see that very slightly, that it catches the light very slightly there. Some of the white glitter card by Craft Artist, and it comes from the pack with the monochrome set, so that you've got black, you've got silver grey, true silver, blue silver, and this one, which is the white one. And I thought I would have a go and see if any of these worked with this. So I'm just going to show you how to do it, and then I'll show you one that I did earlier because it does take a little while to dry, and that's what I wanted to use as my base. So I'm going to use, seeing as I've picked up this one, I'm going to use this one, which is Glacier, that one's called, and this one, which is Aqua. So I've got them on my messy mat here, and that will save me getting any mess elsewhere. And I've also got one of the alcohol blending solutions. Now, what I'm about to do, you can do in any colour, obviously, but it was just wanting to show you what you could actually do. So I'm going to put a liberal amount of the Glacier, and then I'm going to put a liberal amount of the Aqua. So I'm just sprinkling it all over. Then I'm going to take my blending solution and I'm going to put a liberal amount of that. So with this porous surface or non-porous surface, it will sit on the top a little bit, and so you can move it around like this, so that you're actually moving those inks around. Gives such a pretty effect, doesn't it? Or you can get a straw and you can blow it around, or you can get one of the puffer brushes, which I'll show you in just a second. I just want to start off with, I just want to coat the whole of this piece of card so that you can see that that's all sort of one colour, sort of. So then I'm going to go in with my colour again, and I'm going to put some different colours. So you can build, same colour I should say, but different patterns. You can build this up, and it just creates a background, very pretty background. And it sort of moves as you are doing it, so that it will create, the longer that you leave it on there, it will create different patterns. And if you put the blending solution on, it will make it a slightly different pattern. But you can see that it will give me a sort of blotchy bluey, which is what I wanted to achieve. So I'm going to make sure that I go over to all the edges of it, because I want to be able to do a whole sheet out of it, and I think that that will make sure that I do. But as you can see, it is sort of moving and changing, and even though I could leave it like this, it would still change just a little bit. So it is interesting to see. So it gives it a good old shake like that. Okay, now that will change and move, and I could get, what I meant by my blending puffer is this, which is made by Ranger, and it's for moving the inks around like this, so that it actually moves the pattern and you can blend in a bit more. It's a funny thing, but it just blends it rather than leaves it sitting on the surface. So it's just a air, it's and me squeezing the actual bottle there. So it's nothing very technical. If you can squeeze, and it's quite soft to squeeze, it's not hard. It also dries it off a little bit, obviously, when it gets those little bits in there. So you can see that it gives you a really pretty different effect. Okay, now I'll pop that to one side, and then I'll bring in the one that I did earlier, because once it dries, you can see this now. And if I bring this up to the camera, hopefully you can see that shine is there. Can you see that twinkling? Hope you can. May, why are you looking for men? I don't want to know. May has put a question on saying, are there any men here? I'm not quite sure why she wants to look for a man, but there you go. Right, okay, so I'm going to take my messy mat out of the way, because that's now completely dry, and it's only taken about 10-15 minutes to dry. And to be honest, I could have done it quicker as well, but I didn't want to make it any quicker. So first of all, I'm going to do my card, and I'm going to take, I've got it all cut out over here. I'm going to take a 7x7 card blank, and I'm going to make it into a twisted easel. So I just need to first of all score that line and make it into such a thing. So I'm just going to take that to one side. Now when I'm doing my twisted easel, I want to make my diagonal fold from the corner at the bottom left to the top right. Okay, so going around in circles. So bottom left to the top right. So I need to get my point there and my point down there. Let's just check. I need to move it over. That's it. So I'm just making a score line from that bottom left corner to the top right corner, so that when I turn that over and then I score that there, I've then got like a sail effect, and that's going to give me my twisted easel. So I need to now think about what other card that I want to put on here, and put my lovely stamps and die set. So I'm going to start off by doing the inside, and because I've chosen the bluey colours, you recall we've got the bluey colours, I think that that looks quite nice with it. So I've already cut out a piece which is just giving me a white border there. So I'm going to pop that onto there. Oh, I'll let you off then, May. That's what you said, that you're looking for crafty men as opposed to just men in general. Yeah, there are some brilliant crafting people that are, or men around, aren't there? As you say, John, who has got a beautiful selection coming out tomorrow. But it is a Hochanda exclusive. So you will need to, if you're interested in that, that's the Mandela one, you need to go on to Hochanda and help yourself to that little beauty. And then I'm going to take my white one here, which again I've cut slightly smaller. This is for the inside, okay? And it gives me just a little piece that all looks nice and tidy then. So it gives it a nice little border there. So, okay, that's my inside for the moment. So now we're going to work on our outside. So I've already cut myself the same size blue piece there, which as I did for that one. So I've cut that for there. And I'm going to put on top of that, I'm going to cut myself out a piece of this, which is going to go on top. So let me just double check what size this was. I think I did it by inches for a change, and this one was 6 3/4. So this one's got to be 6 1/2. So I'm just going to cut that down to 6 1/2. Now, obviously, that's what I said about wanting to take it right to the edge, which clearly I haven't done then. So you might need to just make sure that the piece that you're cutting out does actually come right to the edges. But a little bit of white behind it is going to be fine as well, or white in it, I should say. So that's 6 1/2 by 6 1/2. And then that should fit in there, again, with a little border all the way around. It looks quite pretty. And put that against the white in there again, looks quite striking. So we're liking that. We've got a piece left over. We will need a couple of bits of it, but I'm going to show you what else I did as well with another one. So we've cut that bit out. So that's our base at the top there. Now I've already used a couple of the press cut nesting squares, and I've cut myself just a single frame. So I haven't gone for the double frame. I've just gone for a single frame here, and that is going to sit in there. But first of all, we want to put some of the sentiments on. So the sentiments from the stamp set are varied. Let me bring in what we've got. We've got just a note to say, I'm thinking of you today. Happy anniversary to a lovely couple. With love and best wishes. Have a really wonderful day, especially for you. And then round this way. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. With love on your special day. Wishing you a very happy birthday to someone special. So it's a mix and match. Some of them obviously are much bigger than the others. But by giving the frame out like this, I'm going to take my stamping platform and pop that into place there. So that's tucked right up to this corner so that it can't really go anywhere. Okay, so now I'm going to decide which one I fancy doing. Let's have a go with, with love and very best wishes. I'm going to pop that into place on there, and then I'm going to take and especially for you, decisions, and I'm going to pop that down in this corner. So I'm just very lightly popping it in, and then I can move it around so that it is as central as I want it to be. And then I'm going to pop that over and pick them up. Now at this stage, if one knew where one's, that I do, all is well. I didn't know what I'd done with my magnets, but they are in place. So we need to take ourselves some ink, and I'm going to use VersaFine Bluebell today, but I think that the blue will look nice with what we're doing, but you could use any colour. I think the blue would look very nice. I'm just inking them up, and then I'm going to pop that straight over and press that down. Just hold that down so that the ink soaks in a bit, but obviously by using a stamping platform, if it didn't, I can come back and do it again, but it does it nicely. So there we go. So I've got that in that corner nicely, and then especially for you down in that far corner, which I think is really pretty. You could obviously use especially for you and do all the way round. You could do the same one with Love and Best Wishes and do that down that side as well. All sorts, lots of combinations of those corner stamps, and I think they're really nice way of, whoops, sorry, nice way of doing the frame. So let us pop a little bit of foam on the back of these. Okay, let's just pop that in. There we go. So I've heard quite a few of you are having your COVID injections now, which is a step in the right direction, folks. Very much so. It all seems a bit depressing at this time of the year, doesn't it, I think? But we've got so far, and I reckon we can do it now. We are so close to the end of it, aren't we? Just showing you on this piece of glitter card, which I used, the white glitter card from the monochrome pack. The ink that is on that side is only on that side because I scraped it on that side. You can see that there's not a bit of it that has soaked through otherwise, which I think is part and parcel to say, because if you use this ink, the alcohol ink, you possibly have got some in your cupboard that you just haven't got round to using, and it might have been that because you haven't got because you can't use it on ordinary card, it just soaks in, and that's the end of that, really. So it is important that you have some sort of non-porous surface. You can use it on metal and all sorts of things, but that often is not something that paper crafters look to, is it? Is putting sort of things like that on metal. So I'm going to decide which way round my card's going to go, and I think it's going to go that way. And then I'm going to pop that over the top, giving it as much as I can an even border all the way round. So then I'm going to go with my very pretty New York Herald square. So the die set comes in 4 pieces. So you've got an outer edge, which is a dotty, yeah, you can see a dotty edge, but I haven't used that one. Then you've got this one, which will cut out just with this border here. Then you've got another inner border, and then you've got an inner one as well. So I've used a combination. So I've cut this one out in white with just the outer piece, just one piece. I haven't used the inner piece. If you wanted to do that, you'd be cutting out a frame, but I haven't done that. Okay, so I've cut one like that, and that piece, might as well stick that one down. That piece is going to go directly onto there. Okay, so I'm just going to put glue onto the very center of it. Not going to worry about getting it all into those little nooks and crannies, but if you wish to do so, obviously you could. I'm going to pop that down there like that. Then I've cut myself out actually 2 of these pieces. So these are using these 2 dies. So that's the inner dotty one, and then this little piece. This doesn't have any cutting edge otherwise, so this will cut out the square like that. And then this centerpiece obviously comes out. So I've cut that out, and hopefully you can then see that you've got that little pretty border, and you've also got the little dots and bits and pieces there, which are rather pretty. So then I want to put some of this on the background so that that shows through like that. So what I'm going to do is measure my square, and I'll have to go back to centimeters now, and it's a almost 6.5 by 6.5, that one. So I don't mind if it's a little bit smaller. So if we said just a fraction under 6 centimeters square, I'm going to cut 2 of those out of there. Let me get my little guillotine for this. See, now when I say, where's my magnet gone, that's why, isn't it? But I don't bother to put it back. I put it down on there and it connects itself to all of that. On the other hand, it does keep them all together. We'll keep it all together. Hey ho. So just a fraction under the 6 should be fine. And we need 2 of those because I've already cut 2, because one's going to go for the centre and one's going to go for the sentiment. So there's my 2 pieces, and my lovely little middle of my herald square is going to go onto the centre pieces there. So I'm going to get a piece of my sticky specs for this because I do want that to stay stuck. So I'm just going to pop those onto there. I think I've still got enough sticky on there. Just pick up the sticky and pop them down. You may have noticed that the Sue Wilson has brought out a new collection, and I will be putting them online later on. But I would remind anyone that is already booked in for some workshops for February that we will be using some of those new products. So I will be sending out a message to those people to tell you what the products will be, just in case you're tempted by anything. You don't want to double up with something that you're already going to get in a workshop. So I will make a note of that. So there's my 2, whoops, that are put on there. And again, I'm going to bring it up to the camera, see if you can see. Can you see that shining there? Just change the lens. Hopefully you can then see that that's really shining in the centre there. It's pretty, very pretty. Okay, so there's 2 pieces like that. Then I have already taken the same of my blue card and I've given it, no, I haven't given it, have I? That's not big enough. It's only 2, it's fractionally bigger and I want it to be a bit bigger. So plan B, let me just trim another couple of those bits of that. Hold on a second. Don't want that to be quite that size. So let me just measure them again. And I will just cut, because I did measure it, but I just gave it a tiny border, and actually I want it bigger than that. So I'm going to give it just under the 7. So I want 2 pieces like that. So just under that 7, 2 pieces, and that will give me a better border. I don't want just a tiny one, and I've given myself too tiny a border there. Wouldn't have shown up enough. Oh, crash bang one up. Now it probably shut up too much, wouldn't it? No, we're all right. See what I mean? And that one is going to go into the centre of there, like that. So let's pop that down. So I can just pop some glue onto the back of that one. And then that into the centre. You could put some foam or whatever you wish on there. And that just sits in the centre like that. Now, when I'm coming to put my, do that one in a second. When I'm coming to put my easel front, so you could, if you don't want to do an easel, you could do a completely flat card and it would be like that. But I'm doing an easel. And if you recall, we scored that so that we've got that sail type of effect. So I need to put some glue along here. So I'm actually going to put it onto the card base itself instead of onto the topper that I'm going to put on, because otherwise I might put it in the wrong place, too much glue in the wrong place, because obviously we don't want that side to stay stuck, otherwise it won't stay up. So I'm then going to pop that onto there. I just need to make sure that my points of my corner here are actually pointing towards the fold, and then that will give me, when it's shut, it will still look as if it's a card, if you see what I mean. It still look as if it's all in one like that. And then when I lift it up, you can see that that's now not stuck on that piece. And because I put the glue only on that white card, I haven't got any telltale signs of glue on that side. And I just want a stopper, and this is my stopper. So I'm just using the same theme of it, just going to pop some glue onto the back of that, and then I will need to attach some foam onto the back of this because I'll need it to sit up just a little bit. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of foam onto that. So using this alcohol, which very many of us may well have in our stash and have thought, what on earth are we going to do with it? And this is something that you can do with it. What I thought was very pretty, I'll show you one in a minute. I also thought, oh, I'll have a go with it on silver. So in the monochrome glitter pack comes some silver cards, and I thought, oh, I'll put this on silver and I'll show you. It was really incredible what happens when I put the same colours onto the silver card. So just going to put this into position, and I need to decide where that is going to sit up, and I need to decide where I want to put it. So I'm going to put it as like a diamond, and I'm going to pop it there. Make sure that goes into position so that when my card opens, you can see that it will keep it as a stopper and a topper. Okay, so that is my closed card, and again, could be just an ordinary card, but if you wanted to make it into something a bit different, there is your what is it called? Your twisted easel. That's it. Foam rolls should be with me today, for those of you who have just asked that. So let me show you a couple of other things. So I also then took this piece and I cut myself a little tiny card. This is the one that I did earlier. Cut myself a little tiny 4 by 4 inch card. Could have made it a fraction bigger, so 5 by 5 you could do. And this is what I did with it. I took one of the little daisies from the gnome sets that we were using on Sunday, if you were with me then. And I also took one of Lisa Horton's stamps, no, what are they? Sentiments, stamps and die set. And I do have some more of those, as I have some more of the sunflower embossing folders. They are, both of those are on the website right now. Gnomes stuff will be in with me this time next week, I'm told. I know that they're on pre-order for everybody, but the gnomes and bits and pieces will be then. So from your A4 piece of card, I've actually managed to get 2 cards. No, that's not quite from this one, but it's the same concept. And I think that they're quite pretty, aren't they? I know you can't see that properly like that, but they're quite nice. A very pretty design of the lacy effect in there, and then comes free, if you haven't already got it, comes free with these lovely stamps as well. So it's really quite nice to go together. Okay, so that was something a bit different for you. Slightly messy, but I'm not, well, that was from earlier, so I'm not too messy. That was when I dropped the lid and picked it up and got mucky. Have a go. Oh, I was going to show you the silver one, wasn't I? Look at the difference with this. So this was a piece of white glitter card, and then I put on the glacier and the aqua and blending solution. This piece was silver card to start off with, and look at the difference to that. Quite incredible. Very, very shiny and all the rest of it. But if you put on the blending, let's find a bit here. So this is pink, this is silver card, and if I just put on the blending solution, watch what happens. Put 2 drops on there. Hold on, I shall move it so you can see. You see that? It's clear blending solution, and it's going pinker and pinker and pinker. And so then you can see that it's moving as well, spreading. I'm not moving the card, it's just spreading. And then if I was to put on a little bit of this, and then we'll start to take on a purple hue, and you can see that this darker edge is getting really more and more purple. Quite bizarre. I never realised that that would do such a thing. And that's clear blending solution back on the top again now. I could play with this all day long, really. But you can just see that that now is turning purple, and I've actually put on blue and clear. And yet it's turning purple and lilac, and yeah. So that was the 2 colours, and that one put on there. It's very different, doesn't it? So there you go. We can play all day. There's the 2 cards that were, well, 1 card and 1 other made today. Don't forget, if there's anything that you see that you would like, pop over to the website on maximumcrafts.com, and you will see on the Facebook Live section that you have got the special offer today of that. And I'll make sure, if not, because I think it already is anyway, but I will make sure that the card is there. And you've also got on that section, I believe, but I will just check again, with the Lisa's sentiments and things. Her new things that were on television yesterday will be with me in a fortnight. Don't forget John's show on Ho Chanda tomorrow, 3 and 7 p.m. But unfortunately, I don't have and will not have any of the things that he's selling. But if you're keen to have a look, which they do look lovely, do go over and have a look. I will be back on Friday this week. Now, I usually am here at 10 o'clock on Friday, but I have to take my dad back to the hospital for another checkup on Friday morning. And I've made that really early. So I'm making him get up early so that I can get back here. But it won't be for 10 o'clock. I'm going to do it at 11 o'clock on Friday. But I will remind everybody. But if you come up here and find that I'm not here, ring that little bell in your head to remind yourself that it's because I said that it was going to be 11 o'clock on Friday. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me, everybody. I'm not sure if we found any men, but if we did, well, fine. And I look forward to seeing you again on Friday at 11, don't forget. Many thanks. Bye.